Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Owen. Just a quick video today. Something I'm wanting to do for a while has been to make some videos on my Hot Wheels collection, and another channel, the Lamley Group, John from the Lamley Group, suggested the September Lamley Challenge to show off your Mustang collection. As you can see from my backdrop here, primarily of Japanese cars, but I do have a few Mustangs, probably the smallest collection of anyone who's done these videos, so I'll just go through them briefly here. I thought this was a good opportunity to start making some YouTube videos of my collection. So I probably stand out by not having any of the 60s, 70s or even 80s Mustangs really. I've probably the smallest collection of any of these videos. So one that I've had for quite a long time, it's actually a Matchbox model. This is a 99 Ford Mustang. It's one of my favorite models actually, just like the simple paintwork. The red stripe down the side, white, red, black. Good color combination on this one. And moving on, one I actually only realized I had recently before this video was another of the same generation Mustang. I believe that's the 4th generation Mustang, late 90s, just after the Fox body. I think it's still based on the Fox body Mustang, but this one would have come from a Hot Wheels multi-pack. The coils kind of livery there on the side. Moving on to actually either the first one's my favorite or possibly this next one. This one is the Ford Mustang GT concept. So this is from around, I think, 2005. I'd actually credit this model as being one of the ones to get me back into collecting Hot Wheels as a teenager. Just remember quite liking the idea of getting a concept car, so I remember seeking this one out. It was quite a fresh design at the time, the mid 2000s Mustang. Cool little model, alright. Not sure if the window is actually sitting correctly here at the back, but yeah, this looked really fresh at the time before this model of Mustang came out. Here I actually have another one that's actually credited as being the GT concept. I thought this was a release model Mustang. Quite basic here in the red. I believe this is actually a Matchbox model as well. Yeah, so the first one, Y1, was Matchbox. The following two were Hot Wheels, and this is another Matchbox model. I believe this actually belongs to my brother. I found it in the collection recently. And finally then to really two recent models, which are actually probably some of my favorites, just as I said, being into Japanese cars. So the Formula Drift Mustangs. I know there's some premium models that match up with these, but premium models aren't too commonly found in Ireland, but I do quite like these. Kind of really slick design to them, kind of a sleeker looking Mustang. I do like the two different alloys front and back there. Gets a nice livery, but it doesn't get the headlights or taillights done there. But yeah, I think that's probably my favorite of these, or as I said, potentially this guy, along with this one, just because it's an oldie from my collection growing up. Not quite sure really where like each of them came from back in the day. Probably mostly multi-packs rather than individuals. And one last one that I actually said I would pop in. This one I've had since I was very young, growing up in the 90s. This is actually a Ford Probe from Matchbox. So as you might know, during the 80s, Ford experimented with the idea of replacing the Mustang with this this model, the Ford Probe, was actually developed on a Mazda platform. I think it was a V6 with front wheel drive, so that didn't really go down too well. I think maybe initially the Mustang was to become front wheel drive V6, and yeah, that didn't go down too well with Mustang fans, so eventually the Ford Probe was born out of that, and they went on to develop the I believe the Fox body then at that stage. One that I am actually looking to get is that green Fast and Furious Fox body Mustang. I've seen a few guys in some of the videos have had that, so that is one I would like to seek out. And yeah, maybe at some stage I will add some of the 60s, or even more so probably the 70s Mach 1 Mustangs to the collection. But muscle cars and pony cars have never really been my strong suit. But here we go. So look, thank you for watching, and thank you for John for proposing the Lamley challenge. I've watched the other videos, quite enjoyable to see huge collections you guys have, so stay tuned for more, hopefully. Thank you.